Welcome to the second part of the Identity Cookbook, and in this section we're going to take a look at refresh tokens. And what are refresh tokens? Well, a refresh token carries information to get a new access token. And what this allows us to do is to reduce the amount of time our JWT is valid for. Now currently, if a user tries to use our token even after 7 days, it will still be valid in our application because we're not even validating the expiry of that token before we let them pass. So our refresh token is going to have enough information to get a new access token, and this one is long-lived. We give this token an expiry, instead of several minutes, we give it an expiry of 7 days. And we store this token in the database with the user object as well as on the client. And also we store this in an HTTP only cookie, and this means that it's not accessible by JavaScript. It can only be sent up with HTTP requests, and because it's in a cookie, it's going to be sent up with every request. And what we'll try and do is get a new token for the client just before their current JWT token expires. This approach means that as long as they're using our app, then in the background they're going to be getting new tokens just before their JWT has expired using the refresh token. So it's going to go up inside the cookie just before our current token expires. Our server is going to take a look at their refresh token, compare it with what we've stored in the database, and then issue a new JWT that the client can then continue to use to authenticate with our API. And if we just take a look at the flow of what's going to happen here, first of all, when a client logs in, they'll log in normally, and the server response will issue both a refresh token and the JWT. Now the refresh token is stored on a client in a cookie, which is marked with the HTTP only flag, and our JWT continues to live in local storage. A certain amount of time will go by and the client will be authenticating with the server to make requests, but just before that JWT has expired, then the client in the background, and the user will be unaware of this, there'll be a request to go and refresh that token. And so long as the refresh token matches with what's stored in the database, then they'll get a new JWT and they can continue to use our application. So this mitigates one of the other weaknesses of storing a token in our local storage. We've already got content security policies that protect us against cross-site scripting attacks, but the other type of weakness is the fact that anybody with local machine privileges on the client's computer can access that local storage as well. But if we reduce the time of the token, how long it's valid for, then the token is useless after 10 minutes, for example. And then the user needs to relog back in again to go and get a new token. So whoever has access to the local machine would also need to know their email address and password they used for our application. So it's all about mitigating risk, and that's what we're going to do in this section coming up.